Hi friends, welcome to another interesting lesson. I will be showing you the simplest method ever to draft a notch collar. It is sometimes called the lapel collar, the GENT collar, however way it is called. By the picture on the screen, you understand the picture of the collar we are dealing with. So you begin by having your basic bodice block drafted. So this is my basic bodice block. Now I've gone ahead to put my button allowance. This is where my buttons will sit. Now, as you observe in this particular place, this is my breakpoint. What is a breakpoint? That the start point of a button on your jacket is a breakpoint. So it can be determined, it is determined by you. There is no specific rule to where it should start. Others may want a one button jacket that starts from around the waist. So you are the one to determine where you want your breakpoint to be. So I now had to make a button wrap allowance where my button, so my first button will sit here. So these areas are where my button will sit. So that is my wrap allowance. So where the beginning, the first button starts is my breakpoint. So the next thing that you are going to do is you are going to extend the shoulder at your neck point by a value of 0.5 to 0.75. So we are beginning alterations now. So I'll be using the red marker so that you can understand. So the first alterations we are going to do in drafting our lapel and the collar is that we will extend this part of the neckline by 0.5 to 0.75. So I'm using a miniature mannequin here. So I'm extending this by 0.5. So now the next thing, if it's an adult mannequin or for your client, an adult, please extend by 0.75. So I'm going to connect that point to my break point. I'm going to connect this point to my break point, and I will go out of this by the size of my back neckline. Now, before you begin drafting, you would have measured your back neckline and know the value. So here is my back neckline. So what you will do is to keep your tape. You will keep your tape this way and measure the size. I hope you are seeing it. You measure the size of your back neck. You measure this size so that you know what it is, because that is what we'll be using to draft our bodies. So like I mentioned earlier, this extension, you will connect it to your breakpoint and go out of the pattern by the size of your neck, your back neck width. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm connecting my extension to my breakpoint this way, and I am going out of the pattern. I hope you can see. So I'm now going to impute the size of my back neck width. So that is it. So I'm going to come in now with my marker pen so that you can see it. Okay, so see it clearer. So I'm connecting that. So that is the beginning of our alterations. Now the next thing that we are going to do is, you see where your front neck depth is. Now I'm extending that line outwards. I'm extending this line outward this way. So what you are going to do is you're going to step down from this line. You are going to step down by about 0.5. You can take 0.75. You can take 1 inch. Now what you need to understand there is that the more you step down, the more slant your lapel will be. So from my basic neck depth here, I went down by 0.5. So I'm going to connect this 0.5 back into my new neckline. So you can observe from where I'm stepping down, from this point that I step down, I am connecting it back to my neck depth. I hope you can see. Then I'm going to complete my lapel. Now my lapel is going to follow whatever curve I want it to be. You can choose your own whichever one. So I have completed my lapel. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to now go over to the collar part of the design. I hope you got that right. Let me go all over again. First and foremost, you will extend your neck towards your neck point by a value of 0.5 to 0.75. Then you connect that to your breakpoint. And then you go out of your pattern by the size of your neck width. So this is the size of my back neck width. So you go out of the pattern by the size of your back neck width. Now the next thing we are going to do is to complete our lapel. How do you complete your lapel? You come back to your front neck depth, and then you go down from that point. Look at, I just extended it here. You go down from that point by 0.5. You can use 0.75. You can use 1 inch. The only difference there is the more you step down, the slanter it will be, your lapel will be. So we have finished now with the lapel. We are going to go over to the collar part. Now for us to go over to the collar part, the first thing you are going to do is, you see this point, intersection between the neck depth and the extension. We are going to fix that area that notches. Now if you see this black line, I'm going to be finding an angle of 45 between this line. You see this line and this line here gives me an angle of 90. Now an angle of 45 means dividing this equally in half. So I'm going to come in with my ruler that will help me to find my, I don't know if you can see the markings on this ruler. You see this line here. You can use your T-square from the primary school math set and get your 45 degrees. So I'm going to be keeping this ruler to find my 45. This is where you are interested in accuracy. So my 45 degrees is somewhere here. That is, the line is here. But since there is no point for me to stick it in the ruler, this is plastic, I now marked it here. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to rule out from that line, from the intersection. I'm looking for the midpoint. Now I don't know if you have seen that line that I just marked. It is a 45 degrees between this line and this line. Okay, now the length of my lapel at this point is 1.5 inch. I don't know if you can see from this intersection to here is 1.5. So I'm going to be using 1 inch at this point. It's always more beautiful for the lapel to be longer at this point than this point. So I'm taking here, I measured whatever I have here. Sometimes what people do is whatever you have here, you take half of it for this point. So I'm taking mine 1 inch. So I'm going to come in with my marker pen so that you can see how that looks. So that is that area of the notch. Now to complete the collar, I'm going to, you come back to this point that we were. Now on this point, you are going to measure 0.5 inch backwards. So this is it. Backwards is this way. So from this point, I am marking 0.5 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a curve. Let me draw the line so that you can understand what I mean. So I'm going backwards 0.5. I hope you can see that. So I'm connecting that 0.5 back into the neckline. Why am I doing that? Because the back neckline is not straight. It has a slight curve. So I want to have that slight curve so that when my collar goes round the back neck, it can sit perfectly. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back this my ruler and try to find an angle of 90 where I can draw my collar. Now I'm basing the angle 90 on this straight line. So I'm bringing my ruler. Like I said before, basic maths will show you how to do this. So this is where it is. I'm marking that, not that I will draw it to that width, but I'm marking that so that we will know. So basically, you come back here and measure what is the length. Remember, the length here was 1 inch. So we are going to double the length here to 2 inches. So I'm taking the 2 inches right from the back. So as I'm ruling my line, I'm going to be ruling the angle 90 with a length of 2 inches. So that is where it is. So I'm measuring it backwards this way. I'm extending it. Hope you can see. So to complete my lapel, I'm going to connect this to this so that it is perpendicular to this. So I'm going to bring in my curve ruler and give it a curve that is like this, so that it somewhat looks like that. So our collar is done. That is just all you need to know about the lapel. So this area is the lapel. This is the lapel and this is the collar. I hope you got that. Please go through this video step by step. You are going to get it. When I also started the drafting of this collar, it was the most difficult for me. But today I am excellent because I kept following the steps one after the other. So if you want a paper illustration, please check our Facebook page. You are going to see a paper illustration that will make it clearer. Remember, this is the lapel, this is the collar, and this is the part that makes it called a notch collar. Thank you for listening. If this tutorial was meaningful or impactful to you, please, we would like to see you at the comment section. We would like you to share this video. We would like you to put on your notification bell, and we would like you to reach out to us with comments so that we can improve. Thank you. Bye.